Pats lose in overtime yesterday to the Seattle Seahawks alongside Mazz and Big Jim Murray. Thoughts, fellas? Who wants to go first?
Murray.
It's just as annoying as it was frustrating because they had it. They had the win and they blew it. And if, not that we really buy into win probability all that much, but for this, I'll bring it up because it helps the argument. But after that Antonio Gibson run, and their win probability was 85%. I didn't even need to know that. After that happened, I'm like, well, this game's over. I had missed the missed field goal because I was like, well, this game's as good as over. So you had to kind of work hard to blow it in the fashion that they did, but they did because their offensive line sucks. They have no passing game, and really it all kind of went to hell offensively for them once the Seattle Seahawks took Hunter Henry out of the game, which they did. He was eating them up. He was the only thing that was working in the passing game. Once he was taken out, it all went to hell. And it looked like what we all expected it might look like this year on that side of the ball. The offensive line sucked. Receivers can't get open. Offense couldn't do anything. And that's even with Jacoby Brissett making more plays with his legs at times and getting out of trouble. But I don't know. What they're doing offensively, it ain't sustainable. I think you saw that in the second half.
Missed opportunity. And look, they're in no position to give games away that they can win because who knows how many that they're not going to have a chance in. Yesterday, when Seattle went ahead in the second quarter, it was the first time all year they've been behind. And they were actually able to overcome it. They got back out in front by the end of the game. And as Sosi said, the two exchanges at the end of the first half and at the end of the second half, to me, killed them. Those were the game. And they made mistakes in every facet of the game. The offense is a disaster. The passing game's a disaster. Disaster. Their passing game blows. It blows. It's horrible. Seriously, you can't emphasize that enough. And despite that, they were able to get back in front, and they gave it away. They made a big mistake on defense. They blew the coverage on the 56-yard touchdown pass to Metcalf early. And then, the defense couldn't make the lead hold up at the end of the game, so they had opportunities to win the game on defense too. The special teams, the two field goals, giving up one and then having one blocked. There were failures all over the field yesterday.
Yeah, that's not to let the defense off the hook either. Mazz is right on that. Did Geno Smith to you guys ever look like troubled, hurried, bothered to you at all? Not to me. And that to me, and Keon White looked good in the first half, then felt like he kind of disappeared. And they got shredded. Like DK Metcalf and Jackson Smith and Jigba ate them alive yesterday.
Sorry. Gag.
Yeah, they did. They gave it away.
Choke. It's a choke. Absolute choke. No way they should have lost that ball game on several different fronts. I mean, just, again, the run. You talk about the Gibson run. First down, Seattle 25-yard line, 6:06 on the clock. Up 3 points. Mm-hmm. That's got to be ball game there.
Yeah.
That's got to be, you've got to close that game.
Punch it in and it's over.
Up 3 points, first and 10, Seattle 25, 6:06 on the clock.
Yep.
And Seattle gets the ball back with 4 minutes left, and you've got no points.
Correct.
That is a gag. That's a choke. And no one should let them off the hook for that. Just because they are clearing the exceedingly low bar that we set for them. And they are. They've cleared this incredibly low bar and my incredibly low expectation I had for them. Don't let that cloud you into not holding their feet to the fire for that loss. That has got to be a win. All the things we can talk about today, and we will. We'll go over all of them. First down, Seattle 25-yard line, 6:06 on a running clock. You're up 3 points. You have to close that ball game, either with taking time off the clock or getting 3 points and making them drive down for a touchdown. And the fact that you did neither, that is a choke job. Choke job. Gag.
And we were all thinking the same thing in that situation because I was in the stands yesterday. I had my 17-year-old with me, and I said to him, they get a touchdown here, we're leaving. I am beating the traffic and getting out of Dodge. And naturally, the thing goes the other way, and they end up in overtime, and they lose.
Choke job. And do not let them off the hook. Do not give them style points. Do not give them moral victories. Just because we thought they were going to epically suck and they suck a little less than we thought does not make yesterday acceptable.
No.
That's unacceptable.
No way. I don't want to hear about moral victories or anything like that today. Not a chance in hell.
To be in that position.
And even a field goal. Like,
Right.
listen, even if they get the
First
field
down,
goal,
running clock, 6:06. You have the ball in a 3-point lead on their 25. Ball game.
right, especially with their defense. Even if you give up 3, now they got to come down and get a touchdown to beat you. You should be able to nail that down.
Brutal. So I'll blame them all. How are you not in Jacoby Brissett's ear on that third down? No turnovers, no sacks. No turnovers, no sacks. Whatever you do, no turnovers, no sacks. Maybe you can help him out by dialing up a play that is pretty much going to guarantee no turnovers, no sacks. Screen pass. I don't know. Draw. You run clock, guaranteed 3 points. Get out of there. And they do neither. That is horrible. Is that all on Brissett there? That sack on third and whatever?
I mean, a good chunk of it's on him, and who knows what they said in his ear. But yes, and even so, Mike, there was a clear breakdown on the field goal.
3rd and 6. It's only 3rd and 6. Seattle 21-yard line. 4:44 on a running clock. That is just. I'm sorry, Mazz. Go ahead.
No, but the field goal, even so, it was an easy field goal.
48 yards.
But still, in this day and age in the NFL, and they got over. See, to me, the block was a coaching thing. Like they sent 2 guys at Hooper. He had to pick one. He picked the one on the outside. The guy on the inside got in. So now look, I know the mistake. Hooper made a mistake going for the guy he did.
You always take the inside guy.
Absolutely. So he made a mistake, but it was going to, I'm not sure the outside guy would have gotten there, whatever. But either way, they sent 2 at him, and they didn't have enough guys to block on that side. Or somebody inside of Hooper, I didn't see who was lined up to Hooper's right, made a mistake there. They got overloaded, and someone squeaked through. Like, I felt that was a coaching thing. That felt to me like they saw something either during the game or before it where they said, if this pops up, we can get in there, and they did. They had 2 guys who almost got it, let alone one.
Bad loss. That's right there for them. 2-0 was right there. They should have had that game. And, again, if I step back to 10,000 feet, the whole thing looks and feels better than I thought. You've got to be, generally pleased with what you've seen so far with the product. And Gerard Mayo, in some respects, exceeding what I thought. He's got him ready to go. And so, that's a plus in his. You got to win that ball game. It's all about wins. You've got to win that ball game. We all figure there are going to be weeks this year where they're not going to win. They're not going to have a chance. When you have that opportunity, you've got to close that ball game. That was a gag. And that's why Jacoby Brissett's a losing quarterback. Jacoby Brissett's, in some respects, outperformed the incredibly low bar I had from him. That doesn't mean he's good. It just means he's better than you thought. So what's that saying? I thought it was going to be horrible, but he is. But that's why he's a losing ball player. It's that backbreaking. He doesn't throw a lot of interceptions, but when they do, they're backbreaking. And the decision there in that spot to take that sack, I don't know if that's a 40-yard field goal versus a 48-yard field goal. Does it get blocked? I mean,
good question.
Maybe it does. I don't know. But you just can't take the sack in that situation. Period. Story over. And so, that's it. You should be ruining that. 2-0 going into the Jets on Thursday night was on the table. It was right there. You were right there. And so, I'd say there's game-losing plays on both sides of the ball. I thought the busted coverage on the Metcalf touchdown, that just can't happen. You just, and that's got to be, and it is their strength. You just can't how do you let that guy run free? That guy. It's not like their 4th receiver there. It's DK Metcalf. No one's going to cover him.
No, he's like one of the premier deep threats in the league.
He's massive. You can't miss him.
I was on the field yesterday. He's a moose.
He is. He's gigantic.
Yeah. He's a giant. How do you not see that person?
I would love to have his body.
He's gargantuan. That's the one that you let go? That one? How do you miss him? So that's, that just can't happen. It can't happen. And those are the things you should be on him for. You shouldn't be feeling good about that. You should be feeling, 2-0 was on the table heading into the Jets on Thursday night. That would have tasted good. That would have been good. It was right there for you. Pats so they have game-losing plays in all 3 phases. On defense, couple of losing plays. Special teams, again, the punt return at the end of the second quarter, that blocked field goal, obviously. On offense, boy, you had it. You had it right there. Couple different spots. Should they have gone for it on fourth down in overtime, Mazz? 4th and 1?
I say no because I have no faith in their offense. None. And again, their running game was, to me, had become so predictable for the most part. It's, they're going to go up the middle. For all intents and purposes. They ran one play around the end yesterday that I remember. It was Gibson, and it worked. But I don't think Stevenson wants to go out there. So I say no. I didn't have a problem with them kicking it away. To me, it was put the faith in the defense, and I think by that point the game was lost.
Well, it's consistent with their meekness too, because they had another opportunity on 4th and very short. I think it was late in the third quarter. They might have been on their own 38, 35, something like that. And I thought, because I tweeted at the time, I'm like, I bet the surrender robot hates this. I thought they might go for it. They probably should go for it, and they didn't because their strength is their running game ostensibly. But they were like, no, let's punt. So if you're going to do it there, you should punt in overtime too.
What's a surrender robot?
Oh, it's a thing on Twitter where it's like one of these nerd robots. It's like, that's not the time that you would want to punt. You should go for it. But in that one, I'm like, I bet that thing's probably right. You should just go for it here.
People are getting on Mayo. Maybe I take this too far because I sort of feel this in a lot of sports now. I don't think it was his call. I don't think it's his call.
The analytics guy.
Yeah. It's the Rothstein kid upstairs. So Murray says what? The surrender bot. But I think they're all, it takes a coach like Belichick or Peyton or someone like that with some juice or, to use his gut. But a first-year head coach in this collaborative process, my guess is
put it in the machine.
They ran the numbers. Yeah. And again, I feel baseball is absolutely, managed that way. The decisions are not made on the field in real time. They're predetermined. And I think they ran the calculations and said the odds, field position plus our defense plus our success rate in this situation, you put it all into the computer and it spat out punt. It's just a guess.
I'd have punted. I don't trust their offense. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you'd rather trust the other side of the ball.
Definitely.
You get a good punt, pin them down deep. So they all gagged. They gagged. Don't let them off the hook. That was a choke. They should have had that win.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.